Actually, I didn't catch how can I change my video selection?
We pasted a new example in the here. You could just change dev video 0 to dev video whatever it is.
Open that link back up. Okay. Oh, you're on USB.
I removed some of the paths that were by default. They were default paths anyway. It's just in the service file you don't really have the environment variables all set up, so it's more safe to just provide complete paths.
It's actually working really good on Wi-Fi right now. Oh, it's like really good. Maybe I'm just unlucky.
Why are you doing an 8 now?
Because that's technically the correct interface you need for going over Wi-Fi. You're using 7.2, which is kind of valid.
Earthquake. I don't know. I look at this now and I keep thinking, gosh, it really shouldn't be that hard to intercept that stream, right? Just look at how those SO files are written and start like, capture with OpenCV, but output through MJPEG streamer on the back end.
There's a. Are you referring to like adding, like modifying the video stream, like adding text and stuff?
We're doing object detection and then adding text. Like process it with OpenCV.
Locally. So, and you mean stream it after you process it?
Yes.
Right. I've tried that before. That didn't work out.
There's another project besides MJPEG Streamer that's similar. I'm trying to. I don't remember the name of it.
Mine's slow.
And there's people that have tried to write MJPEG Streamer in Python.
Maybe I chose the best USB camera in the world. Maybe that's what low detect is just second class.
I want to see the NSC conference just so I can hear it more.
Looks like there's something on Chief Delphi about exactly that.
Lost my stream.
MJPEG Streamer CV package, yeah.
I've seen Smeared modify your image, so I assume in that, whatever steps it takes to modify the image and then keep sending it out, and then make sure that we're used to that kind of thing, like object detection. There is a website, I think it's still up, called Let's Robots TV. Oh my gosh, that's an awesome website. See, David, they're using MJPEG Streamer, and it's you played the grabber. Yeah. And you know how it has all that the graphics on the page? Yeah. That's done through MJPEG Streamer, and then in MJPEG Streamer you can, I don't know how, but add all that stuff onto your video stream. It's awesome. We need that flexibility.
That's what I want to play with. So input OpenCV.sl. And then filter.
Yeah.
So filter is a Python program. What's that .so after it though? Yeah, it looks like there's a very much a way to do it. All right, so my filter process looks like you get fed an image.
Let's say you are a robot.
Robot PY.
Oh, my robot's slow.
2016. How did I not find this before? I'm pasting it in the.
Do we have like PNGs on this? Okay, thank you.
So we're deep into playtime, right? Is there anything else we need to cover before we're not in playtime anymore? To kind of step back from playtime, or we deal with everything else tomorrow?
Running
a C program in a Python program. Can we do that?
A C program in a Python program? Like you're talking about running swigs?
Swig.
Oh, so you want to call C code?
Yeah, call
from
C code.
Python.
Yeah.
The first project I think of that you can kind of look at that is RCPY.
Yes.
But there's tons and tons of these, right? So there are tools that you use to tell other languages what the data structures are, so that it provides the right interfaces, right? So this one's not particularly automated. So here you include the Python, you're using the Python libraries and the target libraries, and you have to create Py objects for each of the different methods. And then in those objects, you essentially have to translate the arguments. So you start from the Python data structures, the calls, and then you translate those down to the C calls. And this is way beyond my scope. This is
Tricky stuff?
This is tricky stuff.
So let's say
I mean, I've done this stuff before, but this is a project.
Okay, so I've found a simple C library for the HCSRO for
if you have a really simple C library that you want to use, look at the CFFI. So that's what's called a foreign function interface. Save that one somewhere. So here, instead of creating a hard Python plugin, you use this plugin to describe just how you make the calls into this other function. So you, let's see some examples.
A main like thing.
Yeah. So you import FFI and you say, this is the C definition. This is loading the dynamically linked library, so loading the library that contains that function. It goes.
Well, I might be asking the wrong question. Maybe I'm asking to do something that's not the best method. This question came up when either we found a hardware driver that was in C hardware library, or we found, let's say, a voice to text or text to voice library, and we didn't find one in Python. So we wanted to know. I wanted to know if I can still use it somehow.
You can make system calls and essentially start other processes.
So
a more efficient way, because the starting and stopping of processes can be fairly thick. If you write a program that listens to, say, sockets,
I have a C program that takes an input from a socket, and I feed data to that socket from my Python program, and then I run both of them.
and that can be run very efficiently. Because there you're not dealing with the startup overhead of the different processes. They're both just running. And so all they have to do is when they get sockets, do the stuff that they do. So that is way, way faster than trying to shell out, do system calls to
Okay.
programs.
No, do you know how to do that?
Do what part of that?
Create the socket to pass data between a Python program that's
yeah.
running actively and a C
We've done
program?
that before.
Do socket programming in both C and in
Yeah.
Python, and then just have the two applications talk to each other through sockets.
We also did something similar, although it was Python 2 and Python 3, because we could only install Python 2 on the Beaglebones at the time. I had spent hours trying to install Python 3's OpenCV, and that didn't work. So we were stuck using OpenCV for Python 2, and then RCPY is only a Python 3 library, and we wanted to just chase a ball. So I had OpenCV in Python 2 create a socket that sent data to the Python 3 program that RCPY then moved the robot with, which I don't know. Is that considered a C program?
What was the C program?
There was no, I'm saying this is Python and Python.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Yeah, because it was the Python 2 and Python 3 program. Yeah, but it's pretty easy to do between C and Python as well.
And the other thing we mentioned for today
It is pretty, so just to answer the question, it is reasonably efficient to use socket programming, right? To use sockets to communicate things. What you need to think of, like, how you schedule that within the process matters, right? So you can, operating system services provide you with waits, right, where you essentially block on get socket,
Yeah.
and that's nice and efficient, right? You use get socket it turns the CPU back over to the operating system, and when it's got more data for you, it comes in and runs. So if you can keep your application in the idle in the get socket command, awesome.
Okay. I kind of realized.
If you just go check it every now and then, it's less efficient.
Okay. But I'm thinking we might not be on the same page, because I just realized when you refer to sockets, you're referring to a network?
Network socket.
Okay, because that's what, one of them programs acting as a server, one as a client. Okay, because I felt that was bad practice, because also it opened up a port just to any interface.
Well, you can restrict the port access to the local host.
Okay.
So you don't, but
Within the program, or like an IP table entry?
when you open the socket, in the socket open
Okay.
mechanisms, you can restrict the access.
Okay.
Don't remember exactly how to do it. I think it's like AF local or something like that. There's a flag
Okay.
that you can set in the socket that you open. That would certainly help for security reasons. Of course, it doesn't, prevent. Depending on the port numbers and stuff, you're not going to be protecting it from users, right? So any user can go and access those ports potentially.
Yeah, but just basic security is what I was curious about.
Memory, like shared memory communications and stuff, can be somewhat more efficient. You can allocate shared memory between programs, but that gets non-general fairly quickly. Sockets just is very universal.
Okay. And another thing we had done was we had found a example reading in C to read data from a LiDAR over USB. And actually, instead of using sockets, since that example was already written and outputted to the terminal, we had a Python program.
Python stream. You just dealt with the socket. You stream it and stream input output.
Yeah, I used just grab the Python program, just grab the terminal output from running the actual Python, the C program, which also didn't work too. I'm not sure how fast that is if I were to measure that. Compared
You
to a
can
socket.
spawn the task from within the parent program and connect to the input and output streams that way. From the stuff I've done, I've found that sockets tend to be faster than streams, but I don't think there's any hard and fast rule for that. I'm just making sure agenda. There's no agenda at this point, right? We're going. But what are we trying to solve as our
couple
afternoon
items.
project?
We talked about the RFID reader, right?
We did.
And then one other thing remaining is I'm not too concerned that we need to go over the quadrature encoder example, because I feel like we can do that.
I think we did that already, didn't we?
Yeah. You showed us yours.
RC test encoders, and
Yeah.
I hooked up your motor and